Welcome back, everyone. I'm Emily.
And I'm Peter. And today we have something really special for you.
Really special. Peter, tell them what we're doing today.
Okay, so if you are a beginner English learner, this video is basically a survival kit.
A survival kit. Exactly.
Because today we are giving you 30 real-life English sentences. Not textbook sentences, not the apple is red. Real sentences. The ones people actually say.
And here is the most important thing I want you to hear today. Are you listening? If you learn these, you can survive any conversation.
Any conversation. At a restaurant, at the airport, at work, on the phone, with friends.
You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know every grammar rule. You just need the right sentences. And that is exactly what we're giving you today.
You will feel ready, confident, prepared. Let's go.
Okay, Peter, before we get into the sentences, I want to talk about something. Because I know a lot of our viewers have this problem.
Which problem?
They study English for months, maybe years. Grammar, vocabulary, all of it. But then the moment someone speaks to them in real life...
Guilty. That was me. I studied English, I knew the rules, but the first time someone called me on the phone in English, I literally just hung up.
You hung up?
I panicked. I thought, if I can't see their face, I can't understand them, and I didn't know what to say, so I just ended the call.
This is so common. And the reason it happens is not because you are not smart. It's because most English courses teach you grammar, but they don't teach you ready-to-use sentences.
Exactly. It's like, imagine someone teaches you all the rules of swimming on paper in a classroom, but you never actually get in the water.
And then they throw you in a pool.
Goodbye.
These 30 sentences, they are your swimming practice, your real English practice. Learn them, repeat them, and you will be ready.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's start. What's category 1?
All right, category 1, greetings. These are the sentences that open every conversation. You need these every single day. These are the ones that if you don't know them, the conversation is over before it even begins. Exactly. Let's go. Sentence 1. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? This is how friends greet each other. It means, how are you? But it sounds much more natural.
And the answer is usually, what? I am fine, thank you?
No. Say, good, thanks. You? Or, not bad. How about you?
Oh, keep it casual. Got it.
Sentence 2. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You say this the first time you meet someone, always with a smile.
And if you've met them before, but you forgot their name, which happens to me all the time, you can't say this again, right?
No, you cannot say nice to meet you to someone you've already met. That's sentence 3. Sentence 3. Long time no see. Long time no see. You say this when you see someone after a long time. Friendly, casual, warm.
I love this one. It's one of those sentences that just sounds so human.
It does, and people really respond well to it. Sentence 4. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? This means, what have you been doing lately? Friends ask this all the time.
Up to? I remember when I first heard this, I thought, up to where?
Yes, up to here doesn't mean a place. It means your recent activities. What have you been doing?
English is wild sometimes.
Sentence 5. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again. Warm, friendly, works with anyone. A friend, a coworker, a neighbor. This one sounds so genuine, like you actually mean it. That's the point. Mean it when you say it.
Okay, Category 2 is one that I personally needed so badly as a beginner.
Asking for help?
Yes, because I was too embarrassed to ask. I would just stand there completely lost, pretending I understood everything.
Please do not do that. These sentences will save you. It is always okay to ask. Sentence 6. Could you help me, please? Could you help me, please? Polite and simple. Works in any situation. A store, the street, at school.
Could you sounds more polite than can you, right?
Exactly. Could you is softer and more respectful. Great catch, Peter.
I've been paying attention.
Sentence 7. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand. And I want to say this directly. Saying this is not embarrassing. It is not a failure.
100%. When I say this, people are usually really kind about it.
Because it shows honesty, and people respect that. Sentence 8. Could you repeat that, please? Could you repeat that, please? When someone speaks too fast, which happens constantly, use this. Native speakers speak so fast, like they eat half their words. They do, and it's totally okay to ask them to repeat. Sentence 9. Can you speak more slowly, please? Can you speak more slowly, please? Nobody will be annoyed. Most people genuinely want to help.
And if they are annoyed, that's their problem, not yours.
Exactly. You are learning. You have every right to ask. Sentence 10. Where is the nearest? Where is the nearest? Fill in the blank. Where is the nearest bathroom? Where is the nearest bus stop? This is like a template sentence. One sentence, 100 uses. Yes, a lot of today's sentences work like...
Oh, I love this category. Shopping is where I feel most confident in English, actually.
Really? Why?
Because if all else fails, I just point at something and say, this one.
Please do not do that. We have much better options. Sentence 11. How much does this cost? How much does this cost? The most important shopping sentence in the English language.
Can also say, how much is this, right?
Yes, same meaning, slightly shorter, both are perfect. Sentence 12. Do you have this in a different size? Do you have this in a different size? Or color. Do you have this in a different color? Same pattern, swap the last word.
Template sentence again.
Template sentence, you're getting it. Sentence 13. I'm just looking. Thank you. I'm just looking. Thank you. When a salesperson approaches and you're not ready for help yet.
This one is so useful because in some stores they come at you immediately. Can I help you? Can I help you? And sometimes you just want to browse.
And this sentence handles that perfectly. Polite, clear, done. Sentence 14. Can I try this on? Can I try this on? At a clothing store, try on means to wear it and see if it fits.
Try on is a phrasal verb, right? Like you can't separate it?
Actually, you can separate it. Can I try this on or can I try on this jacket? Both work.
Whoa, English grammar surprise of the day.
Sentence 15. I'll take it. I'll take it. When you decide to buy something. Short, confident, final.
I'll take it. I feel powerful just saying that.
Good. Feel powerful. You're speaking real English. Category 4, one of my personal favorites.
Because you love food.
Because I love food and because restaurants are where so many beginners freeze up. You sit down, the waiter comes, and suddenly your brain goes blank.
The menu's in English, the waiter's speaking fast, there are people waiting behind you.
Stressful, but not after today. Sentence 16. A table for 2, please. A table for 2, please. You say this when you first arrive. Change the number for your group. A table for 5, please. A table for 10, please.
Big party.
Big party, yes. Same sentence, different number. Sentence 17. Could I see the menu, please? Could I see the menu, please? please? Polite and clear. If they don't bring it automatically, just ask.
In some fancy restaurants, they recite the whole menu out loud. That terrifies me.
It's okay to say, could I see the written menu, please? They usually have one. Sentence 18. What do you recommend? What do you recommend? Ask the waiter for their best suggestion. This is very natural and they genuinely love answering it. And then you don't have to read the whole menu. They just tell you what's good. Exactly. Smart and friendly. Win-win. Sentence 19. I'd like the chicken, please. I'd like the chicken, please. I'd like is more polite than I want. In restaurants, always I'd like.
What's the difference between I want and I'd like?
I want can sound a little demanding. I'd like sounds like a request. Softer, more respectful.
Got it. I'd like equals polite. I want equals sounds like a toddler.
I would not say it like that, but yes. Sentence 20. Could we get the bill, please? Could we get the bill, please? When you're ready to pay. In American English, people say check. In British English, bill.
Check, please. Very American. Very New York energy.
Very New York. Both are correct, just depends on where you are.
Okay, this is the category I was talking about earlier. The phone calls. The one you hung up on. We don't need to bring that up again, Emily.
He hung up on a phone call because he was nervous. These sentences would have saved him completely.
Completely. Let's go.
Sentence 21. Hello, this is your name speaking. Hello, this is name speaking. The perfect way to answer or begin a professional phone call.
This is Peter speaking. It sounds so official.
That's the point. Confident and professional from the first second. Sentence 22. Could I speak to name, please? Could I speak to name, please? When you call and want to reach a specific person.
Could I speak to Emily, please?
She's right here, but yes, that's exactly how you'd say it. Sentence 23. I'm calling about. I'm calling about. Then add your topic. I'm calling about my appointment. I'm calling about the job listing. This is great because it tells the person immediately why you are calling. No confusion. Right, it's clear, direct, professional. Sets the whole tone of the call. Sentence 24. Can I leave a message? Can I leave a message? When the person you need isn't available.
And then they say, sure. And you say your name and number and what it's about.
Exactly. My name is Peter, my number is, and I'm calling about.
Ooh, combining sentences. That's advanced.
You're more advanced than you think. Sentence 25. I'll call you back later. I'll call you back later. Simple way to end a call when you need more time or can't talk right now.
Very useful when you are in a meeting or on the bus or whispering, panicking.
All of the above. Category 6. Work and school. These sentences will make you sound prepared and confident in professional or academic settings.
These are the ones that will make your teacher or boss think, oh, this person knows what they're doing.
Even when you're still learning.
Fake it till you make it in the most legitimate way possible.
Sentence 26. Could you explain that again? Could you explain that again? In meetings, in class, in training, anytime you need more explanation.
I used to just nod and pretend I understood, then go home completely lost.
Please don't do that. Just ask. Good teachers and good managers love when you ask. Sentence 27. I have a question about. I have a question about. Professional way to signal you're about to ask something. It gives the other person a moment to prepare.
It's like a polite warning. Get ready, here comes my question.
Exactly. And it makes you sound organized and thoughtful. Sentence 28. Let me check and get back to you. Let me check and get back to you. When you don't know the answer yet, do not guess. Say this instead.
This is so much better than making something up.
always. It shows responsibility. It shows that you care about giving correct information. Sentence 29. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. When someone asks about progress on a task,
Short, confident, gets people off your back.
it communicates progress, yes. Sentence 30. Can we schedule a meeting? Can we schedule a meeting? In any professional environment, this sentence is essential.
Schedule is such a powerful word. The moment you say it, everyone takes you seriously.
It says, I am organized, I am professional, I mean business.
And that is all 30 sentences. Whew. Emily, how do you feel?
I feel amazing, and I hope everyone watching feels the same way.
Seriously, how many of those sentences did you already know? And how many were new?
We want to know. Here's what I want you to do right now. It's very simple.
Go to the comments below.
And write one sentence from today's video. Just one. Your favorite or the one that was most useful to you.
Why? Because writing it out helps your brain actually remember it. It's like a mini practice session right here in the comments.
And we read your comments, so we will see you down there.
Should we tell them the other thing?
Oh, yes. If you are not subscribed to this channel yet,
What are you doing?
every week we make videos exactly like this one. Real English, real sentences, real conversations. No boring grammar lectures. No textbook nonsense.
Just English that actually works in your real life.
So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and you will never miss a lesson. Trust us, you want to watch that next.
Thank you so much for watching today. Keep practicing.
You are doing absolutely amazing. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.